And see, here's the thing about it. Men look at this and they're just like, okay, so if this is the way that you're treating arguably some of the most successful Black men out there, you're not going to get any more, like, there's no higher position, there's no higher role in American society than the freaking president of the United States. If this is how he's treated, you got Steph Curry, who's one of the most successful NBA players, and, you know, his wife going on and talking about, well, I wasn't happy and I'm still in therapy, you know, and I'm saying, like, men are looking at this and being like,
hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
This is hella disrespectful. I know some ladies are saying, oh, well, this is just me sharing my experience, but men are just like, this is hella disrespectful. Like, this isn't a marriage, and that's what I'm trying to say. So let me start off by saying that both Michelle Obama and Ayesha Curry have aspects of their lives that I absolutely admire. Michelle Obama is obviously very accomplished. She's married to Barack Obama, who's obviously incredibly accomplished. And even if you don't agree with their politics, I think who they were at the time they were in office, or who they tried to represent as a, you know, Black American family who was successful, put together, had a healthy family, was raising daughters. Like, I think who they represented at the time was honestly the image that I would like to see. They were, you know, churchgoers. They had a spiritual foundation, or at least they said so at the time. So again, those are the kind of images that I would prefer to see over this kind of hood rat stuff that we see being promoted online with rappers and media and all that kind of different stuff. Then you have, you know, Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry, you know, a beautiful Black family. And he is an athlete who is promoting family values. You know, we don't hear about him going out and doing crazy things with strippers or OnlyFans models after the game. We see him with his wife. You know, there's been many videos with him and his daughters. You know, his wife has been done cooking shows and promoted books. And again, we're about promoting healthy family values. Again, two things that I love to see and I love to celebrate. But the challenge that I have with both Michelle Obama and even Ayesha Curry, some of her recent interviews and interactions, is I feel that they oftentimes are being used or positioned in a way to promote messages about family, about Black love, even about godly marriages that are problematic. And I say this because I know both of these couples are ones who claim to have, you know, a Christian faith or a Christian orientation. And I think that comes with a certain level of responsibility or a certain level of understanding. But to me, it just seems like a lot of the recent behavior is actually undermining that. And I want to explain why. You know, everybody has, you know, up days, down days. Everybody goes through their challenges, whether you're rich, poor, or whatever. My thing is, though, why are all of the inner workings and inner challenges or the emotional issues that are going on, why does that all have to be public discourse? Like, to me, there used to be a time where somebody's mama or grandmama or auntie would come alongside you and say, honey, your bed business, your marital business, your marital struggles does not need to be public discourse. The whole world doesn't need to know that you were depressed yesterday, or that you had an altercation with your husband, or that you're struggling to figure out whether or not you want to stay married. Like, not everybody needs to know that. The whole world does not need to know that you were unhappy in your marriage the first year or whatever. Because, and why? Because you're now inviting unnecessary scrutiny. You're inviting input, insight, drama, you know, people's unsolicited advice into a very sacred union, which is marriage. Like, that's what an elder or somebody's mama or somebody who had common sense would tell you. But to me, it just seems like you got Michelle Obama and Ayesha Curry. Ain't nobody telling them this. Listen, like, I know Michelle Obama has had her own challenges, being the former first lady, being the first Black woman, all the different things she's gone through. That's legit. I'm sure Ayesha Curry also has had her own challenges. That's legit. My thing is, why do y'all gotta go on national television, all these podcasts, and tell everybody and their mama about what you're unhappy about when you're incredibly privileged, by the way? And listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being privileged, but like, if the goal is for them to try to be more relatable to like working class women, like a lot of working class women will be like, y'all are hella selfish because you're over having rich people problems, trying to find meaning in life in your nice Bugatti or whatever like designer car that you got. And meanwhile, I'm just trying not to get evicted, right? So you're going to have people who are going to look at them already and be like, y'all got rich people problems. I don't want to hear anything y'all got to say. Because the thing is, when you have the level of status, when you have the level of influence that they have, and especially their husbands have, like that does, in my opinion, that does come with a certain level of responsibility. And the challenge I have is that, like, I'm seeing this culture where they're having these elite women try to like have these like homegirl conversations, right? Like trying to position them as like, oh, we're super relatable. Like I can relate to you, kind of like, the struggles that you middle class or poor women or working class women are having. And they do this by sharing their deepest, darkest secrets, the things that they struggled with, their depression, their postpartum, whatever. And again, what I'm not saying is that like you have to pretend like you're happy all the time or that life is perfect. But what I am saying is that I really believe that there is a way that you can share your journey while still protecting the sanctity of your marriage. And what it seems to me is that these ladies are being encouraged to go online and completely undermine the legacy in the house and the home that they're building with their husbands. And to me, that is not good. Now, who knows? Maybe this is a part of a larger agenda, or I don't know, maybe they just don't know or aren't really thinking through this. And like I said, for me, this is usually when you would have an elder come alongside you and be like, honey, you don't need to share that. Or if you are going to share that with like your small group or that person or people, whoever, like share that in a private setting. But this does not need to be public discourse. This is not helping. If men got on these podcasts and talked about their deepest, darkest concerns with their wives, they'd actually be called misogynist. Like nobody would want to hear their complaints against their wife. Like the men are completely expected to protect their wife's reputation. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But somehow it's fair game for women to go online and say all kind of different stuff about their husband, how they don't know if they're happy or they're unhappy or they're disgruntled and they're still in therapy, whatever. And I'm just saying, like, can we keep the same energy though? Like if these men are expected to protect the reputation of their wives, then I think that they can do the same thing. And I'm not saying that these women can't have these feelings. If Michelle Obama has those feelings, if Ayesha Curry or whatever woman has these feelings, those are valid, and I think those should be worked out. I'm just saying they don't need to be worked out on mainstream television or on these podcasts or anywhere where everybody and their mama can watch it. Work that out in the privacy of your home, please. And see, here's the thing about it. Men look at this and they're just like, okay, so if this is the way that you're treating arguably some of the most successful Black men out there, you're not going to get anywhere. Like Barack Obama, like there's no higher position, there's no higher role in American society than the freaking president of the United States. If this is how he's treated, you got Steph Curry, who's one of the most successful NBA players, and his wife going on there talking about, well, I wasn't happy and I'm still in therapy, and I'm saying, like, men are looking at this and being like, this is hella disrespectful. I know some ladies are saying, oh, well, this is just me sharing my experience, but men are just like, this is hella disrespectful. Like, this isn't a marriage. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the other issue that I see is that a lot of ladies out here are trying to be single in marriage. Like, so much of the discontentment that I see, and the main reason I feel like women can't be happy is because ladies are over here trying to be single in marriage, like trying to have their own separate identity outside of marriage. And I'm like, hey, ladies, particularly those who are, if you are of a Christian orientation, as are the Obamas and also like Currys, there is none of this, oh, I'm still individual, me over here. It's the two becoming one. Like scripture is actually very clear about that. It is the two becoming one. The one flesh. That is the revelation. That is the mystery of Christ revealed, is two people joining their lives together and building a legacy and building something that is a reflective of unity and interdependence. So when you're married, but you try to live single, you're never going to be happy. You can't, because you're literally fighting against the very union, the covenant that you're in. And that's what I think is the main thing keeping a lot of these ladies unhappy. So anyways, I mean, those are just some of my initial thoughts. I have a lot more on this topic, but that's just what I have for now. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.